Hello and welcome back to the RiftGuides WildRift video. For today I'm going to talk about a new champion that is going to come out very soon, which is Talon. But before we hop into the video, we are going to highlight the abilities and what Talon does as a champion. In order to do so, I found a video on YouTube. The link is in the description below so you can find the channel, where we'll just get to see the abilities and we just can talk about them. So let's hop right into it. As you see, casting spells on Talon applies a mark. This mark can then be triggered by your first ability, which is an auto attack enhancement, and if you trigger it, the enemy will take bleed damage over time. This is something very interesting that will allow you to basically immediately get somebody killed and then just hop out. Another thing is the first ability of Talon, which has two different, versions. Number one, the ranged form. You can leap from a high distance to the target and deal the damage, or you can cast it in melee range and therefore deal even more damage. It also has a crit modifier. For the second ability, we have this lovely rake. So you throw out this curtain of blades, which is an AoE ability, and as it goes back, it will mark people again. So you apply it in one. You will apply this mark by throwing it out, and you'll apply a mark by it coming back, which basically is your fundamental combo. You throw out that spell, it comes back, and use your first ability to quickly proc it, and then you just peace out. You can also utilize one of the other spells for this, which we'll talk about later. Your third ability is called Parkour, and you can just hop over walls, and then they'll get a different color, and depending on the color, you can hop over them again. So red means full cooldown, yellow is lower cooldown, and obviously it scales with level. With this in mind, you can be very creative when it comes to just pathing around the map, and it's very difficult to catch you at all. Like your champion will be broken in the jungle. For your ultimate, you've seen your blades basically completely split apart and apply a stack if you hit somebody. And it's even crazier that you can deal so much damage with this in a team fight. But something that's more curious to see, how well can you combo with this champion? If you ult and jump over a wall, you will go out of stealth, as you've seen. But generally speaking, if we go back here a bit and just take a look again at the ultimate, seeing if he applies multiple stacks with one cast. There's one stack, and there's another stack, and he used Q as well. So you can actually apply two stacks with your ult alone, which means this leaves a lot of room for other combos. So you don't have to just use your second ability to hit twice into your first ability. You can also use your ultimate to be very creative. And with all of this, your champion can just hop over walls. Another thing you need to know about Talon is that you won't play with Flash. In the jungle department, you'll probably play with Smite and Ignite, and you can bet your sweet butt that this champion is going to spam invade you on cooldown, and if he finds you, he will kill you. And now, let's move over to the full gameplay on the Chinese channel. Again, as per usual, take a look at the description below and give them a like, give them a comment, and follow them because they have put out the most amazing content ever. And now we talk about Talon in the jungle department. We see him here start with his second ability, going for a jungle clear. Since I don't know the numbers myself yet, it's always a question of what does more damage with a lower cooldown. Is it going to be the first ability or the second ability? The second ability has a decently high cooldown, and something that you also need to know is that your passive deals extra damage on monsters. It has a monster modifier, which makes it easier for you to clear jungle. But so far, if you just take a look at the cooldown, depending on the damage numbers, your first ability might be superior in melee range in the sense of damage. Probably isn't, because the second ability is a little bit more damage. The question is, does he go for another point? Oh, a reset. The wolf stunned itself to auto attack and just forced him to spend some extra time. And most of the junglers that want to fully clear jungle put 2 points into their damaging ability and then only go for a utility ability. And in this sense, your third ability is a utility ability. Maybe he'll do something fancy with a double pull. Yeah, he does. Lovely. And again, with Talon jungle, like the moment you get slightly ahead as an assassin, you all remember the days of Kha'Zix, right? And they're still like pretty much alive. If this champion gets ahead, he will find you and he will kill you. And since he has a very consistent way of proccing movement abilities, he will most certainly run sudden impact. And this champion with first strike, sudden impact, and then going for another lethality item, that is going to be crazy. And which other champion was able to do this? Look at the movement, look at the parkour, look at him just going around the map, just not even faced by the sheer existence of the Xin Zhao. Okay, that was a small hop. But it's curious to see that they really intend for Talon to be a jungler. Whereas for Aurelion Sol, they immediately made clear with the release that this champion is not going to be a jungler by literally nerfing or gutting his first ability to a point where it barely does any damage to monsters. Now with the first full clear done, he is now on the map utilizing the high speed of his champion. Ultimate locked and loaded, Xin Zhao is going for a gank, the Talon is seeing this, and now it's time. It's time for him to go for the play. He goes in, goes for an execute, gets exhausted, but the bleeding on the misfortune finishes the job. He is now 2-0 up, and now he will go back. Can't he jump? That was weird. Now he will go back to the jungle, just quickly kill it again, already relatively fast. His passive did like 256 damage, and I don't think that includes the bonus damage of the smite bonus you have. So yeah, it's quite a lot of damage, and it's quite a good clear. Yeah, it's not even including the bonus smite damage, so it's a lot more damage than the damage visible to the eye right now. And I'm curious, like, obviously he will go for, Youmuu's Ghostblade. With the Youmuu's Ghostblade in his inventory, it's going to be... Does he... Ooh, he nearly steals this to just get even more money. And look at this utility. He is just able to constantly run around the map and look for potential plays. Sadly, he didn't track the enemy jungle correctly, but he now has the timers. If you ever walk into the enemy jungle, you obviously get all the timers on the jungle gifted, which is something very underrated that a few people do, and you really have to keep that in mind. Waiting for his red buff to spawn, it would not surprise me if you'd actually go for something really fancy around the enemy blue buff and Krug because he knows they're available, but again, he might also just go for a reset since he has so much money in the bank. What I'm most curious about, though, is seeing his ability to delete people. If he has such high damage that he can instantly kill people, ooh, but there's no problem, he can just jump over walls, no biggie, gets caught off guard, gets exhausted, but nah, he just doesn't care, he's just out. This mobility for this champion is literally Blue Cane in, if his, like, remember the Blue Cane, or the Cane release where Blue Cane was abnormally bad because he has such low stats or such low percentages on spells, and he got buffed like 50 times? This is like that champion, but probably with way better numbers. Oh, sadly he mistimed it, but the Yasuo hits with the, oh, beautiful done by the Yasuo. Going for the dragon here, maybe he wants to combat two objectives, seeing that the Xin is very much delayed. It wouldn't surprise me if he wants to fight for the Herald, because the Herald is such a powerful objective in WildRift, so much superior to the dragon. So yeah, it's very concerning actually that he went for this, but yeah, he pings the attack button, and now it's time. Will he be in time? Because Herald dies relatively fast in direct comparison, so he needs to really hurry up, and now the Herald is gone. It was definitely not worth it. The Herald lost is so much money down the drain for a potential Infernal Soul, like potential. Did you see that? Not many champions actually can go toe-to-toe with the Xin Zhao in this stage of the game, dealing so much damage to him, so it seems like the champion will not have damage issues. The enemy is now getting probably a full mid lane tower as the Yasuo mid lane is getting completely barraged. He's getting taken down and the enemy is getting so much money here. Luckily it doesn't go down, and only if you play... What the hell, Misfortune? You good? I think not. Oh, ooh, okay, fancy. But I'm curious how far you can actually jump with this champion. Like, how far can you really push the jump? And soon we will hit the point where the mobility will just go sky. With Yumu's Ghostblade in his inventory, he will be so unbelievably fast. And it's not gonna get any better because he will just jump, and jump some more. And if he locates an enemy AD carry, he'll one-tap the AD carry. And if he gets exhausted, he just jumps the wall again. Like, you have to be really careful with this champion or against this champion because he can go stealth, which is very, very powerful. And if your team doesn't have a way to reveal him when he goes inside your team in a fight, he just kills somebody and gets out instantly. Gets a quick little kill here. Let's see how much damage the passive does now. 468 plus the jungle damage. That's really not bad. It's really not bad. And the mobility, like, this champion is such a brutal carry when you really understand tempo of the game. Like, he can be realistically everywhere at any point with such... It's so difficult to punish this champion. He can literally go over walls, similar to Kayn, but he doesn't have a cooldown outside of on specific walls. So if he enters your jungle without having to use his wall hop, he can just escape again. Which means he can camp in your jungle and literally farm you and your teammates, or be very creative in the way he's going for ganks, because he can avoid the most common warding spots. He knows there's somebody to the right, he's locating the enemy Star Dragon, the Aurelion Soul. Quick little tapper, he even was in the melee range, so the Aurelion Soul just instantly vanishes. Yeah, this champion is no joke. He most definitely is not a joke. And with Duskblade being ready to be purchased, it's not looking any better. Let's see his wave clear on second ability. I mean, it's decent. It obviously doesn't one-tap a cannon. But yeah, so far looks okay. Doesn't look too overpowered in the sense of wave clear. Like, we had some champions in the distant past that were just way too broken when it comes to clearing waves. And it seems like this is not the case for an assassin. And he goes for the collector. He is wildin'. He really wants to have some fun. Oh, before I forget it, right? Talon has a crit scaling. So collector, unironically, might not be that bad. So much damage, but it's probably his end here because he can't jump. The wall is in a slight yellow, so he can't escape his fate because he really utilized, like, he used all his spells to go for an escape, like go for a kill, and then was caught in the open against the Xin Zhao, which is something you never want to have happen to you. Xin Zhao's damage is one of the craziest things. The Malphite just goes into the like on the Yasuo, and he just burns to death. What a sad guy. Whereas the Star Dragon is busy with the setup there, while the Crab God is just walking to the... Huh? The Malphite is still alive. What is happening here? The Misfortune just flashed on the minimap as Ezreal goes close. It's an absolute massacre. Massacre. Yeah. We are German here, right? Massacre. Unbelievable. Look at the damage. Ooh, but so much damage of his got absolutely denied by the... Oh, the Xin Zhao... If he knocks you back as you apply all your spells and your bleeding is about to pop, that is such a major denial. Like, it's such a crazy way of just losing most of your damage. And yeah, every champion that provides hard CC or any type of dislocation seems to be pretty decent against Talon, because obviously if you lock this champion down or mitigate the damage in any way, it makes it very difficult. Also, champions like Braum can make the life of this champion very hard as well. Because keep in mind, Braum's shield blocks projectiles. And as it seems, his second ability as his ultimate are all projectiles. His team is going for a quick cleaner, but he thought he could jump the wall, but he finds the AD carry. Too bad you picked AD carry. You're gone, my friend. Really, this is one of the earliest gameplays possible on Talon, so obviously people aren't as refined yet, but in the future, you can bet that this champion is going to be played so much, and they are going to be so fancy or such fancy combos that you'll go absolutely crazy over this pick. And with this, we're at the end of today's video. Thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, give the 2 channels I've mentioned in this video a quick little look and give them some love, because WildRift really needs all the creators to kinda band together, and for the future I have a secret gem for you because I'm really trying to get something to work, and if it works out, you'll be absolutely amazed and potentially very much disappointed, but why and how is something to tell you later. Anyways, leave a comment, leave a like, and see you soon for more WildRift content.